Hello everybody, Andy here for the Hammer Game channel. Welcome back to the New Order of the Last Days of Europe and to my Italian Empire playthrough. Yes, I'm finally back with this playthrough. Has been, well, since last Friday actually. I've also decided on which party will be taking over. No promises regarding Ireland. Wait. Was a word to the Hellenic state with the conclusion of the Second World War. It could be considered a compensation given by Italy in exchange for territorial losses the nation experienced. Now drastic changes in mainland Greece has made the Cyprus question surface in international affairs again. The delegation in which we are negotiating was the one to bring up the matter of the island, citing that it's technically Greek land, even though in reality the Italian garrison held most power. The proposal was the maintenance of Enosis, term for the union with Cyprus, as a concession by Ildus. What we have mentioned as a counterpoint is a great difference between the situation there and in Greece itself. While the partisans have seized control of the mainland, Cyprus is still under our firm control. Even though EOKA, the radical group advocating for Enosis, has intensified its activities as a result of the victory of the resistance, it has not been enough to force us to evacuate. The possibility of a democratic plebiscite has been considered by diplomats of both countries. A referendum organised jointly and held under the supervision of our garrison seems like a good middle ground to show our commitment to liberty and justice. However, we should keep in mind that if the Cypriots have given a choice between staying in the empire or joining Greece, the majority will likely vote for the latter. Yeah, let's organise a plebiscite. It's probably going to result in it going to Greece, but you know what? That's fine. So yes, after last episode, I had asked what party everybody wanted me to go with, and it is going to be the Social Conservatives that we are going to be going with in this playthrough. So, okay, yeah, we don't need to finish off any of that. We just got to get through this stuff here, which is going to be quite easy to do, considering, you know, the length of it all. And there isn't actually any events for me to read either, which is great. So if we wish to give Italy the change it deserves, simply change a few laws and budget priorities won't be enough. Having an election is no use if nobody shows us the polls, because they simply don't care about democracy, or if those who count the votes rig the election in favour of the preferred candidate. Pro-democracy propaganda. Okay. So, social democracy. Do improve jet CAS and improve jet fighters. Fantastic. Go ahead and get the advanced drop tanks. Guess I'll work on you. And we'll also go ahead and do Horizontal Industrial Organization 3. Okay, the center production thing's gone. And here, improved jet fighter and improved jet CAS. Fantastic. Right, support civilians. During the fascist period, the state largely relied on the armed forces, especially the MVSN and the Regio Esercito, to shore up its political apparatus. I don't know what's going to happen with Greece. Right, let's have a wee look. Small reserve. Region is developed. Preferred develops available. Kuwait. Shall we go ahead and finish off Kuwait? I think I'll finish off Kuwait. I will finish off the Persian Gulf as well. And then we'll do it in Libya as well. Just finish off, expand the oil in there. And support of civilians is done as well now. On the road to success, for the first time, a sense of optimism has started to manifest itself among the people of Italy. While many politicians and people more in the know are still somewhat sceptical, the common folk of Italy seem to have finally started to truly appreciate Ciano's reforms. This is popularity is reaching levels unseen since Mussolini's most glorious days, and everyone seems to talk about a single topic: the coming democracy. Because it's a coming. It is a coming. And war has broke up between these two. Good for them. Right, for the troops. Our army is the backbone of our empire in the Mediterranean and Africa. We know it and the army knows it, and our subjects know it very well too. For this reason, it is imperative that we start a massive reorganisation and modernisation of our army, especially in the field of strategy, tactics and logistics. Current insurgency and special operations will prioritise in order to strengthen our hold on colonies, while at the same time cutting the bloated expenses necessary to garrison our vast territories. And our renewed logistics network will help increase our power projection across the Mediterranean and in Africa. Good, so then we've got a moderate left. Crisis in Algeria obviously would have stopped all this, but that's fine, we don't have to worry about that. Political power, medium spending with large spending. Yeah, you get some experience. Capital punishment with the penal labour. Or combat schooling with advanced training methods. Combat schooling, advanced training methods is higher. Anton Panay elected, okay. I guess I'll decide when we get down there. Moderate left. Over the course of decades, numerous left-wing politicians were persecuted, imprisoned, and humiliated by the fascist regime, with numerous being killed. Many fled Italy to escape the terror of the OVRA, and most of them still live abroad. Okay. I'll get some of them to come back. I guess in social conservative is conservative democracy? I hope so. I hope it is. No, what I meant to do was spin you and get those 5 back on them. There we go. Not that I really need to be on their border, but why are they not with us? Okay. Military bias budget. If we want to have any hope of maintaining our hegemony in the Mediterranean, we have to make sure that our armed forces are well funded. That is very true. Rampant banditry. Really should be suffering for that now. Gosh, I should really organise my navy, just seeing the state that it was in there. Vatican City. Do you not want to just be integrated into us? Same as San Marino. So the French actually have a bloody leader now. Good for them. Airborne nurses. Okay. Right, crack down the Reds. Radicalism is the greatest threat to any nascent democracy. Italy is no exception. With the tacit support of moderate leftists, we will begin a final crackdown on the Red Brigades and other subversive communist movements in our country. Good. And the Greeks now have a leader. We're up to 27%. Fund the project once again. Let's do a survey for a project as well. Defensive tactics. Project's been decided. We're renovating land because of a building slot. That's grand, I guess. National Bloc. Negotiations with the PNF are continuing to better handle the democratic transition. Eventually, some forms of compromise was reached. Amorantin de Marcinich spearheaded the creation of a coalition that will compete in the democratic race. Okay. I really hope we do get the option to actually invade the Iberian Union. I would love to do that. I would also like to secure the Middle East and also take out Turkey. Put them in their place for betraying us. I kind of hope Borman does not win. Because he's boring. He's Borman. Get it? You know? Oh, great banter, dude. Great banter. Kingdom of England is holding on. National Bloc is done. Everything will be okay. Observers, both national and international, are still skeptical about our ongoing process of democratization. Some fear that the fires of radicalism will still burn into the ashes and that the country is simply one controversial election or two away from disaster. Others believe that the hardcore fascists are still strong in the country and are merely biding their time, waiting for Ciano to retire before they rear their heads again. Yet others are simply afraid that liberalizing the Italian economy will cause a catastrophe which will take a very long time to fix. Everything will be okay. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, let's finish off Libya. And we've just got the kind of further development and prospects in other areas as well. The Ocean Government of Moor has won there, I think. They did indeed. Right, the First Order. After all these politics and negotiations, the time has almost come. Ciano's days are deuce numbered, and an official date for the elections has been set. Grand Council of Fascism and Chamber of Fasci and Corporations will soon be dissolved, and full power will be restored to the Senate and to a reformed Chamber of Deputies, both democratically elected. Good. I really just wanted to say, I am the Senate there. I am the Senate. Oh, what am I doing? I want to go to Land Doctrine, since we have not touched it at all. Not that I expect us to have too many wars, to be fair. Review the judiciary. This will increase Sovereign's influence with it. Right, where's the capital punishment bit? Capital punishment, capital punishment, capital punishment. Do you know what? I'm gonna go review the judiciary. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that one. Maybe the wrong choice, as people may tell me after this episode's out, but I don't think we need the advanced training. I don't really want to increase Sogno's influence. Okay, the Second Order, which is the elections draw ever closer and the electoral trail is in full swing. Every party has named its candidate. Politicians rally their voters in the squares of major cities all over the country to hold speeches, or even in the smallest and most isolated towns and villages of Italy. In the evening, everyone gathers around a radio in the town squares to listen to the radio reports about the coming elections, as everyone, down to the humble farmers and workers, is able to comment freely and express his opinions while fearing repression for the first time in decades. Large spending with military critic budgets. Where is the large spending? Large spending, large spending. Large spending. Am I unable to read properly? Large spending. Large spending. Right. I don't know where it is. Large spending military critic budget. Place low pensions with acceptable pensions. Low pensions with acceptable pensions. That's not a bad one either. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know where that one is. I thought it would be in here. Banned from military service. I think I'm going to go with the pensions. Let's go with the pensions. Breast calling. From the general chaos of the foreign pact, message from Brest has reached us. The Breton Republic informs us that they have broken free of German rule. Among their first tasks as a free nation, they have chosen to contact a number of leading world powers. Broadcasts are considered as mere declarations of independence for the international community, not as demands for recognition of the independence of Brittany. Despite the chaotic situation in Germany, it remains to be seen if the Bretons can hold on to their newfound freedom. Congratulations. Good for you. Well done. The Breton backstab. Oh. That will be interesting. Okay, well, this is democracy. Finally, the day has arrived. Ciano, for the last time, stepped out onto the balcony of the Palazzo Venezia, the very same balcony from which Mussolini gave so many speeches and addressed the people of Italy for the first time at Deuce. The square was packed with people, a massive crowd with enormous Italian flags and banners praising the Deuce waving in the wind. Ciano was often forced to his speech for long rounds of applause and cheering. As he spoke out to the people, he praised fascism's glorious history, but also remarked the need for a renewed Italian democracy, one that would lift the country to ever greater heights. The authoritarian elements of fascism were useful in the past, but a burden now, as to be reformed if Italy was to keep its greatness in the future. As he ended his long speech, and disappeared into the palace for the last time, the applause and cheering was even louder and longer. And then slowly the silence fell, as people started to slowly realise what just happened, and asked themselves the question, what will happen now? So, yeah, fading fascism was gone. The gift of democracy. So long to the fading fascism. Which gives us a lot of stability in our daily political power gain. I'll go back up a little bit. Our poverty rate improves. A couple other things improved as well. That's that part of the tree done. The gift of democracy. It was almost complete. The project that would be Umberto's legacy, and that of Ciano, whether the latter was proud of the distinction or not. Workable democratic system and carefully planned out methodology of further transition has been plotted out. Now all that was left was to wait, and the unbearable silence that moments such as this carried, and hope for the best. King had decided he would spend the moment on his own to the best of his ability. When he managed to get away from his hangers-on, he lingered in the balcony, looking out over his room as the lights of the evening began to turn on. It was always beautiful, the most beautiful city on earth, thought the king, and today it would change for the better, although we would not know to look at it. Despite Ciano's doubts, which he continued to express to his majesty even today, Umberto had faith in his people. 4 years ago his father had given Mussolini the keys to power. Now that son would return those keys to the people, to do with them whatever they choose. Perhaps they would choose wrong, but Umberto had more faith in them than that. They received the gift of democracy. Whatever happened next, that meant something. Okay, changing the national tree to Ita Ciano reform. The king stayed to look down on his city until it grew dark. Okay, we've still got a little bit to go then. During Ciano's early reforms, a handful of OFN experts were secretly granted access by the Deuce to observe the nation's reforms and advise the government on how best to proceed. They found that the reforms, in their words, were more imaginary than real, and seemed destined to statate the Italian public rather than affect real change. The advisors were dismissed in a huff. They weren't wrong. Okay, roll back the party. Expel the hardliners. Exile Scorza. Richard Nixon has resigned. Oh damn. Scorza's new job. Dissolve the black shirts, send them home. Okay, okay. One last goodbye. Right. I take it nothing's really happened with Greece then. I take it they're not gonna... I don't know what's happening with Greece. PNF is the dominant party in Italy and enjoys unquestioned influence over Italy. In order to reform into a democracy, we need to weaken the influence that the PNF has over the country. Okay, yeah, that's not a bad idea. King's speech. The end of the Grand Consiglio. Grand Council. Reset of the Senate. Okay, so they all take 14 days by the looks of things. Okay, that's fine. Looks like the kind of England's going to win. Which is not great for Scotland, but oh well. Actually, it doesn't matter who wins, really. It's not good for Scotland either way. I feel like Borman's finally kind of out. Well, saying that, I think Goring just pushed forward slightly there. Right, let's do the electorate first. If we're going to turn our country into a proper democracy, we have to start changing the way our government deals with our people. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and test our work. Test it. Lozano elected president of Mexico. JFK will soon be assassinated. And compulsory membership. Oh, yep, there he goes. He's been assassinated. Oh, we get free press, registered voting, chance speaks to the Grand Council. Replace 30. Utilization. Utilization. And compulsory membership. Membership in the Partito Nazionale Fascista has been mandatory for basically everything in Italy. One cannot be employed, seek public office, or obtain government assistance without party membership. And that does not even get to slow the social stigma of not being part of the party. Ah, so we're going to bin that. Unlucky fascists. We'll be saying bye to Ciano very soon. Okay, so there's our choices in here. So, the first of them to form was the Christian Democrats, the DC, led by Amatore Fafani. Colonial aid did nothing. Egypt is a lost cause. Send them economic support. Moderate conservatives, Catholics, and will to stress the importance. To the left, we have the Democratic Front, the FD, led by well-known socialist Petronini. We have the National Bloc, the BN. Moderate fascist. Okay, I take it we get to choose regardless. Like, burn the party's paper. Fascist Italy has, over the years, been built up a large amount of less than savvy documents, one would say. That could include things from dossiers of political enemies to information that would incriminate many people in the government. Ah, yes. Let's go ahead and burn all them. Burn them all. Okay. Vitka is at war now. Or Vyatka? Vyatka? Possibly how you pronounce it. Reformers request help. Okay, the German Civil War has been raging and the German proper is in flame. Albert Speer, famous for his reformist rhetoric, is losing and wants his equipment. And a base of popularity largely being with the student movement that has recently cropped up in the Reich, has requested that we send him and his forces help in the form of volunteers and caches of weapons. If we are to help him, it will increase his chances of winning the Civil War. The question, however, is if we wish to aid any faction with the Civil War whatsoever. Among Spears' reformers, there is possibility that he will still remain unfriendly to a regime. The political legwork necessary to help him would all be for naught. We must make our decision now. Yeah, surprisingly enough, no, because you're going to lose anyways. Borman's going to win. So, sorry, but you can get in the bin. You can get in the bin. Ah, advanced stroke tanks. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and research. Yeah, there goes Spear. See, knew it was going to happen. So what the hell was the point to send him equipment in that? You know, it would have been completely bloody pointless. Alright, we've burnt party papers. Let's dissolve the Ministry of Popular Culture. The Ministerio della Cultura Popular, known also its silly abbreviation, Mincol-Pop, was originally designed as a way to centralise the cultural and artistic production of fascist Italy in the hands of a single state-controlled entity. Okay. Petty corruption ruined that. I feel like South Africa is losing. They have lost Cape Town, which is not good. Oh, the divine mandate of Siberia is here. Once again. government prevails in English Civil War. The end of the disaster. Not ideal, but oh well, it's happened. Alright, attack the personality cult. Whilst personality cult around the Deuce is nowhere near what it once was, it is a powerful part of Italian propaganda. Posters declaring the greatness of the Deuce has come in place, and people that find themselves in disagreement with the idea that Mussolini or even Ciano, the greatest leaders on the planet, tend to be beaten up or even lynched in some cases. Okay. Oh, what's this? Okay. The artillery barrage, why not? Are we edited our templates yet? Are we still rocking the same? No, we're still rocking the same from the start. Okay, Kazakhstan's kind of doing a little bit of warring. See who comes on top of that. Right, Mussolini isn't always right. Benito Mussolini is, without the shadow of a doubt, the most important man in recent Italian history, and so far the fascist state has done its best to make this simple fact as clear as possible for everyone. But he ain't always right. So we'll probably finish up this first part of the tree today, and in the next episode we'll finish off the whole of the tree, and we should have our democracy in place. So we'll do that for well, that'll be tomorrow's episode. So we'll be getting up to tomorrow. We'll finally have the democracy. Falco Bl Model 3 is what we're short of. The only thing we're short of. Yeah, Bormann has won the Civil War. Yeah, boo. Didn't want you to win. How many cities we got? I'm gonna build. Oh, can I get 3 more cities? I'm gonna spend a decent time on military factories because we will have 100 cities but only 24 military. So let's go ahead and get loads of them. Right, Ciano speaks to the Grand Council. Today, Ciano has taken the floor in the Palazzo Venezia to address the Grand Council in a speech that was strictly kept secret from the national media. As spoke, Ciano criticised Mussolini's tenure as Deuce, underlying key aspects which undermined the Italian state. Ciano moved on to criticise several aspects of the current fascist state and the necessity of them being immediately changed. Deuce mentioned the cult of personality around his figure and that of his predecessors, the exclusively authoritarian and repressive measures taken by fascism against political opponents, the lack of transparency and accountability in many fascist institutions, and the forced Italianisation of linguistic and cultural minorities. All these factors, according to Ciano, have kept Italy from achieving its full potential as a free nation and must be addressed if we wish our nation to prosper in the future. The speech was partially leaked to the press and caused much discussion among both supporters and opposers of Ciano. At this point, the writing is clear on the wall, and it is apparent that Deuce wants to at least partially dismantle the system that he is the leader of. International observers agree that this might be the beginning of the end of the fascist state, possibly leading to the dawn of a new democratic era. Good. Anyways, chisel away the exterior. Up until now, the Italian government has maintained an air of perfection, even recently, as we've admitted to small problems and rolled back the cult of personality. The belief that the Italian government is perfect is still very prevalent in Italian populace. Okay, we could fire our current leader. I might actually do that, because we are working at a sluggish pace. Let's sack his ass. A new expert. In order to carry out the state's instructions, the servant must be a number of things. Knowledgeable, ideally, about the subject itself and the administrative politics surrounding it. Able to lead and work with others, certainly, but above all, a civil servant must be loyal. For this reason, we have removed the previous project leader from the Italian nuclear program, given him an appropriate position to keep him quiet. The new leader is apt as the previous one, but his political commitment to the government is far superior. making use of its services, we can drive the project of nuclearization forward. I guess we'll welcome him aboard. Still working. I still get bloody pace though. Maybe we'll get there eventually to nukes. Hopefully. Right, we don't exactly need to be chilling there. Let's stick some guys in the Greek border, I think. Oh, I keep forgetting the Sardom of Bulgaria is with us. I'll stick some divisions over to Suez, just in case I do actually invade into the Middle East sometime soon. I doubt we will be. Okay, right, open up the squares. True freedom of speech, while common in nations such as America, is not much more than a rumour here in Italy. Protests and assembly are allowed, but they always seem to end up supporting the Italian government or the PNF in the end. True democracy requires one to be able to state their opinions without fear of vanishing in the night, only to commit suicide with 2 bullets to the back of the head. Okay, yeah, let's open up the squares. Let's have a wee look at. Oh, yep, sorry for a project. Let's go ahead and do that. Increase Sogno's influence with Reggio Assertio. Yeah, I need to kind of keep this kind of 50-50, don't I? Depending on the path that they choose to take, an unfriendly faction and dominate the armed forces could have catastrophic results. Okay, right. We'll go ahead and start doing in the government. The true meat of Ciano's reform lies in the sweeping changes made to the laws and functioning of the Italian state. Our aim is not only to dismantle the fascist organisation, but set up a system of checks and balances that will make sure that our democracy in this world again after some party, be it fascist, communist or worse, manages to achieve a large majority in parliament. Okay. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave that episode there, so thank you very much for watching, and I shall be back tomorrow for another episode. So until then, take care, cheer bye, the now.